Hey there, Hollywood Lifers. I'm Kirsten Benson, and I wanted to tell you a little bit about my experiences last night. I got to go to the Idol Gives Back live show at the Pasadena Civic Auditorium. It was a concert, and it had Elton John and Carrie Underwood and Fergie and the Black Eyed Peas, and I know you saw it all live on TV, so you saw it along with me, but being there in person was so cool. The Pasadena Civic Auditorium holds about 3,000 people, so I think part of it is being there with them and having all that energy. One thing is it's a really touching show because, as you know, it helps out like the United Nations and Malaria No More and the Save the Children in the U.S. programs and the Children's Health Fund and Feeding America. It does so much good. And so in between each song, there were these really like touching video segments, as you saw, and that kind of, with the audience, it was hard to get our energy back up every time because we'd be just crying. For example, when Annie Lennox showed her friend, this little girl who weighed less than a 1-year-old, and then we saw the next video where she was healthy, and by healthy I mean much better. There wasn't a dry eye in the house. And I say that, I'm not being facetious. I looked over and I saw this gentleman who'd brought his teenage daughter and his wife, and he was crying, and I looked over and he caught my eye and he got so embarrassed he started wiping his tears away. But it was that touching, and I know it was touching at home too, but to see it on such a huge screen with so many people there, all for the same cause, I think it hit that much harder. My favorite performance of the night would have to be, by far, Elton John. Oh my gosh. I'd never seen him live before, and he sang Your Song. And when you see someone who's that good, you kind of understand why they're so cool. I understood all of a sudden like why Elton John is such a big deal, because he was spot on perfect. It was incredible, and it was funny because when he first came out, we all stood up and gave him a huge standing ovation, and they were like, "We're not live yet, you guys can't do that, sit back down," and we wouldn't sit down. We kept cheering for him. And so then when you saw Elton John being presented and you saw us clapping, we've been clapping for minutes at that point. And then he sang, we all sat down when he was singing because it's a slow song, and then afterwards people were just boom, and, you know, the crowd erupted and it went crazy. So he was by far the best of the night. Carrie Underwood looked spectacular, Black Eyed Peas were fun, and it was hard to hear Joss Stone, but she looked like she was, you know, I think you guys heard her better on the TV than we did in person, which happens a lot. We couldn't even hear Queen Latifah for most of the stuff she was saying because we were cheering so loudly, and also because of the acoustics of the auditorium, I think. So that was my experience last night. It was so cool. Did you guys watch the show? What did you think? Were you happy Tim Urban got the boot? I was kind of sad because I liked laughing with him, I guess is what you would say to be polite. Anyway, have a great day. Thanks for watching, and tell us what you thought of the show.